A mysterious enemy, months of effort, thousands of players, 3 million resources, and minutes of ping, thousands of players in queue, and servers that wanted to kill themselves. Yes, this is how the opening of the Gates of Ahn Qiraj actually went down. An event with an epic scope that displayed true vision from Blizzard, but one that just did not work on the technology of the day. People have often asked Blizzard to do an event like this again, and the response has almost always been, no, never again. And I mean, in fairness, they're probably afraid of the networking people storming into the main office and screeching at them. But time has passed since then. With games like PlanetSide 2 managing to cluster hundreds of players together, you've got to wonder why Blizzard won't tackle something like this again. So why not? Well, the first problem is client performance. Hopping onto an LFR is enough to slaughter your frame rate. Whatever way Blizzard are handling other players, it sure as hell is not performant. Imagine what it would be like with hundreds of players all casting their abilities. Yeah, it would be a slideshow for most people. The other problem is game design. World of Warcraft has changed over the years. In vanilla, the concept of a server community was very important. Nowadays, barely relevant. Realm populations are also a mess now, so even if they were doing this realm by realm, that would be a large problem. Plus, with how the game works today, you'd just be able to cross-realm hop to a realm that's already done the event, which would make, well, a lot of your own work feel really pointless. So there's those, plus a myriad of other reasons which are all standing in the way of players getting an event like this. Could it be done though? Could it be done in the modern day? How would it work? What would the benefit be to players? What's the point? Well, first, what the hell would something like this actually be? What would it do? Why care? Well, I think the concept of unlocking a big bit of content is a very strong one. I don't think it should be a raid that you unlock due to how the game currently operates. Perhaps something like this could unlock a new bit of world content, such as a new zone or an island. Patch 7.4 is likely bringing Argus to the game, and while I don't think it will have a feature like this, I'm going to use it because it's a bit of a relatable example. So let's just say we've got a zone-sized area that exists on the planet and it's locked off. Now, it would be something very important to the lore. Hell, it could be tied into all that Void Resurrection lore with the demons. Let's say that the Legion have just got this big place where all the big bad guys get res like Archimonde. It would therefore be one of the most protected things on the planet. Perfect for an event like this. It would be guarded by one of the most sort of powerful demons around. Perhaps the resurrected Archimonde could do it because Warlords of Draenor doesn't count. And, well, we probably don't want him to just appear again as a raid boss. The importance of this area, of course, means that, it's locked behind some massive crazy shield device. The end goal is for players to knock out the shield, storm the fortification, kill Archimonde, and destroy whatever lore MacGuffin is used to resurrect the fallen demons. The lore of this event I think is really cool, and the spectacle would also be really cool. It would actually kill off some Legion characters for once and give us a sensible, lore-friendly reason to actually defeat them in this patch, which overall I think seems pretty sweet. Now, with the concept of realm community not really mattering, we're probably going to have to make this a regional thing. This would definitely make each player's individual effort feel smaller, but I think the idea of EU versus US would actually be really compelling. Certainly, I think it's a competition that players would be excited to participate in. Now, we couldn't just put every player in the same instance. It would have to be sharded. Perhaps they could do something where maybe groups of players, like the actual players are sharded, but they're all fighting roughly the same Archimonde. The implementation would be very messy, but it could involve syncing every version of Archimonde across every shard, including his position, his ability casts, health, all that stuff. This way, it would be a true EU versus US with one Archimonde dying per Legion, which I think would be kind of cool. The event itself would take weeks to unlock and complete. I would have a mixture of resource gathering mechanics, but ideally ones that don't disrupt the market too much. Giving, say, crafters a new daily cooldown with a nice reward might be a cool way of dealing with that mechanic. That would sort of fulfill the fantasy of, like, preparing the army for the battle to come or whatever. Breaking the Legion portal would be a mixture of things. First, I think that something inspired by the Legion pre-expansion event would be ideal. The idea, I guess, is that maybe us traveling to Argus and setting up a portal would give the Legion some sort of link so they could fire newly resurrected demons down to Azeroth. It could go a few different ways, of course, but ideally we'd have, event things like the pre-expansion event, hopefully massive raid bosses, or world bosses similar to, say, Undasta in scale. What's important to me here is that it uses the old world, where CRZ really matters, and you've got large groups of players. Maybe even once a week, a demon could land in Stormwind or something cool like that. Whenever you kill these guys, you get Fel Essence, something like that. You hand it into Khadgar, and the final event is triggered by the region stocking up the army, and then also, stocking up all of the Fel Essence needed to break the portal, shield thingy, whatever that's around the zone. What would the event be? Well, I suppose a whole bunch of bosses, including ones that we have faced before, but scaled up to have mechanics that work for a large amount of players. You'd also have an amount of friendly and hostile NPCs be involved, and you'd probably turn off PvP. Finally, after a certain amount of fighting happens, Archimonde would spawn region-wide. After a hopefully very long fight, you'd eventually kill him, the day would be won, and in return you would get some sort of, really cool mount reward, maybe some nice transmog stuff, unique cool things, but not things that directly equate to player power. Ideally, some sort of new content would be unlocked as well. Really, this is a bit like the Resurrection ship episodes from Battlestar Galactica. Destroying the Legion's way to escape death would really ratchet up the stakes and actually make the things that we do in this patch's raid actually matter. Now, of course, patch 7.4 is probably too soon for something like this, but I really do hope that they consider revisiting the admittedly flawed, but I think extremely impressive idea that they tried all the way back in 2006 with the opening of the Gates of Ahn Qiraj.